Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to our channel, Why Not Now? My name is Steven and this is my beautiful wife, Lisa Marie. And in today's video, we've had a couple of people ask us about the safety over here in Queretaro, and have we ever felt unsafe, and how would it be as a female, by being by yourself as a female? Is there any uncomfortable situations that we encountered or things like that over here in the city? So we're going to speak about Queretaro itself, not Mexico as a whole. So we're going to talk about this city.
And again, disclaimer as always, our perspective, our experience, our opinion. Everybody will have their own opinion and experience. We can only speak about ours, right? So we actually had some viewers that referred back to the travel.state.gov website that we use in the U.S. to check for travel advisories, whether it's a health crisis going on or crime and things of that nature. And I wanted to bring that up only because one of our viewers was very specific and mentioned that, and I'm looking at my computer now, guys, if you were to pull it up, we're in August 2021, depending on when you're viewing this video. As of right now, it says that they have four different categories. They have four different categories, and it looks like a blue, a yellowish orange, an orange, and a red. So 1 through 4, 1 being the safest, right? And then level 4 being do not travel at all. Yeah. They have the country of Mexico as a whole, and they break down, I guess, the reasoning for the rationale for what their the code that they're in based on crime or the health crisis or kidnapping and things of that nature. Yeah. So right now, it has Mexico as a 3, which is the orange, so right above the red, and it says reconsider travel. So we wanted to kind of just talk about that because I know personally, if we were on the other end, as we were at one time, when we lived in the U.S., we've now been here living in Querétaro, Santiago de Querétaro, Mexico for almost a year now. We have our temporary residency, as you guys who have been following us all along know. For those of you who are new, we have videos on that as well that can help you out and give you the process on how to get your temporary residency here. Not only the part in the US, but also the part here in Mexico. So we wanted to go ahead and just I'm going to go ahead and peruse my computer real quick and just I'm not going to read everything, but as of right now, they have the only 2 that they have exercise normal precaution when traveling to is Campeche state and the Yucatan state. You guys may be familiar with the Yucatan because now you're hearing a lot about Mérida. So those are the 2. That's just one of the areas that are very popular right now, but of course there are many others. And as far as Querétaro goes, Querétaro is under a exercise increased caution when traveling to Querétaro, and of course they have San Luis Potosí and Veracruz, Mexico City, and so on and so forth, Baja, Aguascalientes. I can go on and on. And they're saying that's for Querétaro, due to crime. Yeah. Okay, fine. So that's just one part of it. And they also mentioned about COVID-19 health crisis, which is going on everywhere, as you guys know. So we wanted to just kind of briefly talk about that. I'm not going to get into this as much because that's going to change. But what I have noticed, I will tell you, is that it doesn't change very much. Mexico always seems to stay in the, kind of semi-heightened level of exercise, increased caution when traveling to Mexico. Yeah. As you guys may or may not know, Querétaro City, we've done a little bit of traveling throughout the state, but we don't know every nook and cranny of the state just yet. But as from what we have seen, we have felt very safe here. Very, very safe. In fact, so safe that we have private discussions. We're going to go ahead and just talk to you guys again, like we always do, as if we were talking to a family member or a friend, and give you our honest opinion and tell you bring you into some of the private conversations that we actually have while we're sitting in our house and when we're watching the news back in the US and just keeping abreast of what's going on there. For example, yesterday my husband has the Fire Stick on, and we put on the news, and we watch sometimes the Atlanta news because we lived in Atlanta, the New York news because I'm originally from New York. We watch Boise, Idaho because we lived there for 5 years. So we kind of just get some information on different areas. And what I can tell you is the things that being now away from the U.S., living here in Mexico, your eyes are opened in a different way than when you're in the middle of the chaos. Okay, I'll just say it to you like that. Now, I say this in every time we have this conversation, because there's always going to be people who are going to challenge me and, say, well, Mexico, has a cartel and Mexico has kidnapping. Okay, whatever the case may be, sure. But do we have gang violence in the U.S.? Do we have a huge problem with school shootings? Mm-hmm. Do we have a problem with people with sex trafficking? Oh, absolutely. People don't know. Do we have a problem with people, mental health issues because they're so stressed out and they're going postal and shooting up their jobs on a regular? We sure do. There's a lot of, we have issues with drugs. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm going to be very clear. No one here in front of you has just lived, growing up in a neighborhood with a silver spoon in their mouth. We have lived in all kinds of areas, okay, from areas that you would consider lovely and suburban and owned a house to living in areas that people would be afraid to walk in broad daylight. I'm just going to be very honest with
certain
you.
People wouldn't go.
This is our experience. So I'm not coming to you from one perspective and telling you about the U.S. There are some people out there who are clueless to this because their whole life they've been sheltered and they have not been exposed to different areas of the U.S. and they don't know how bad and how dark it can really get. Mm-hmm. They haven't seen that, and that's fine. That's completely fine. But we're gonna tell you from our perspective, from our truth, and based on our past experiences.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. But would you like to say that a little bit later and just let's talk about Queretaro right now?
As you can see, guys, we're
freestyling.
We're freestyling it. As
you guys sitting across from us drinking wine. We're drinking wine. Everybody having a good time. Water, whatever you want. So over here in Queretaro, right? That's the end of the topic right there. It's nothing. Over. Video's over. It's nothing to talk about. It's super safe here, guys, in my opinion. And like my wife was saying, that we're comfortable in many situations. We've been in so many situations. We're comfortable, and just common sense.
Well, let's talk about the times we felt either a little nervous or maybe heightened caution.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about those
times. All
times.
right, well, there's been one time when we were leaving late at night down in the city. We were leaving. We were out with a group of friends one time, and we were out at the Sky Lounge. We walk everywhere. We noticed.
What was it, like 11:30 at night?
11:30, close to 12 midnight, something like that.
We were walking home.
And we noticed that, and this is what a lot of people don't talk about down here. That's the thing about our channel. We tell you everything. There's a lot of homelessness and things going on, and we noticed that around a certain time in the city is crowded. They're sleeping on the sidewalks.
What was that street that is
Madero?
Is it? I think it's Madero. Is a hotel
Madero,
there.
Yeah, Madero.
A nice hotel.
Nice hotel. That's a nice area.
But after a certain time, it became like, I don't want to say
Skid Row.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Skid Row.
I'm saying it.
Because when I say that, I'm talking about on a super low level. Yeah. But think of, if you guys know what Skid Row is in California, there's those blocks that are where everybody's just lying up sleeping, and they have their little, homemade beds, and that's where they sleep.
Yeah.
We saw that it became
where you're stepping over people. Be honest. Let's be honest. You're stepping over people, but it's to the point of
not on the level
coming from on the level. Coming from Atlanta, coming from New York, living out. We've been in Portland, been in all these places, Arizona.
It's nothing compared to nothing.
Yeah, nothing like that. But it's to the point of you have to approach with caution, though, especially as a female. And then if you're going around, there's bars and things like that. People may be drinking. Just a common sense thing.
Anywhere you go, as a female,
as a female,
you ladies know how. Unfortunately,
travel in packs. Yeah, travel in groups. But you're walking around by yourself, and it's a long walk.
Don't just walk around looking like, if you're lost, don't look like you're lost, and don't be in your purse or your pocket like pulling out money like, I'm looking for. Don't do that.
So it's common sense, but I've seen on one website, I can't say it's a credible website, they're saying mugging and things high over here,
or have increased. I think
have increased.
Is it Numbio?
Not Numbio. It could have been Numbio, something like that. Yeah, but honestly, we don't see it like that. But that's the only time where I can say that it may become uncomfortable. And then, let's be honest, trained, conditioned how we are coming from the States, the police, they said corruption of the police, and we talked to many locals over here, and they tell us that there's no corruption over here as far as the police goes. But there's been times where we felt kind of uncomfortable, especially me.
And I think, and I'm gonna go ahead and interject and say this, I really feel strongly, I want to say 95%, that the reason we felt that way is because of the conditioning and where we come from in the U.S. and what we have experienced in our home country. And I say we because me being my husband for 12 years and having dealt with that, and even prior to him, you know, my daughter is biracial and she's now in her 20s, and having dealt and seen certain things and behaviors. We're not going to go ahead and sugarcoat it. I mean, there are things that exist.
Unfair treatment.
Okay.
Unfair treatment.
So I think that was a majority of the reason why we felt nervous. We were out taking the dogs to use the bathroom, and you know, this is when we first came down here.
Yeah.
And it was late night, probably midnight. The dog had to run out and use the bathroom. We went out together, and at that time we were living in the Millennial area, which is a very nice area, but there were several empty lots because they're doing a lot of building there. Mm-hmm. And I remember when we were out, there was a police truck that slowly passed by, and they were staring at us, and that made I felt very nervous, which I made my husband aware. I'm like, okay, I don't feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
And it was honestly mainly because of the conditioning and the experiences that we had. 95%, and the other 5% I would say is because we've heard about corruption with the police in Mexico. We do know that it exists. They will go ahead and try to blackmail people, like for a ticket to get money and things like that. But we have heard from the locals, multiple locals, that as far as Queretaro goes,
they're on top of it.
They're on top of it, and the corruption here is very minimal in comparison to other areas of the country.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the story my wife we were out and about, and we've noticed though, we see that a lot, that police go around patrolling. You may see the National Guard, you may see the police riding around with the big guns and things like that. And if it's something new to you, you look at it like, oh, what's going on? But actually, they're just going around patrolling. They just, I guess, just staying on top of things, and that's cool to me. But back to what we were saying, back to being over here, there's really no major crimes. You don't hear about a lot of shootings or break-ins and things going on like that. We've been around in a lot of areas. We have friends that stay out in a lot of areas. We've heard it going towards El Pueblito or something like that. It may be a little bit more crime.
And we've actually walked at night through those areas with my friend and a baby.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I think that was probably like going for 10 o'clock at night.
Exactly. And the thing is, we were just walking around like normal people, and that's how it is. If you go to New York, if you go to New York, you walk around like you lost and looking all
good luck.
Whatever, you're gonna be yelling to help because you're gonna be robbed. Same thing in Atlanta, same thing in Indianapolis, Chicago. Don't get me started on the purge that's going on in America right now, man. It's crazy over there.
Speaking of the purge.
But speaking of the purge, we were out in the park walking our dogs. This is another story.
It was broad daylight.
It was broad daylight. Okay, broad daylight. And this guy, he had a mask on, just like on the purge. It was a dog mask, and he was walking in the distance.
Have you guys ever seen Odie? I think it's from Garfield.
And I was like, all right, Steven, get on your game. Something's not looking right here. So we're out there with the dogs, and then all of a sudden this guy did like a dance.
We saw him coming from a distance, and I saw somebody with like a three-quarter trench coat, and I can tell something was off. You know, I couldn't, like, I was like, okay, something strange going on. He doesn't have, I mean, we're in the age of face masks now, but it was just a mask like over his whole head, and then he was kind of walking really oddly,
it was creepy,
like slowly, and just very erratic behavior.
Yeah.
And as he got closer, he did a spin move.
He did a spin move, and when he did a spin move, I said, all right, let's go.
My husband said, here you go, take the other dog's leash in case I gotta get ready to knock him out.
I was like, all right, let's go. But we walked by and we just realized that he just,
sadly,
something going on.
Mental illness.
Something was going on.
That's another issue. And again, that exists everywhere. Homelessness and then mental illness, unfortunately, sadly, go hand in hand. There aren't enough resources, and I'll keep saying that until the day I'm gone. I don't care.
Yeah.
Personally, I know there are not enough resources for mental health.
Yeah.
So that's anywhere.
So
that was one, and there was another. There was another time too with it was funny. We were actually we were sitting in our house here, and then all of a sudden we hear like somebody like, was he singing or yelling? I don't even know.
Oh,
and then we heard like this loud bang hit like hit like kind of like right outside of our gate. It was like a little like a few feet, couple feet over.
Yeah.
And then we went to go check.
Yeah.
And there was a rock this big.
Yeah. Well, my wife, she's ready to go. I'm like, hold on, what are you gonna do? Let me go put my shoes on. Put my shoes on, buddy. He threw a brick or a rock or something like this big and took off running.
Yeah, when we got out there, we saw him like the tail end of his behind running.
I'm like, there's no point in me running the guy down. So it's like, it is what it is. But that comes with it, you know, and that's
because where we live, and again, we've told you guys before, we don't say our area. We have to have some level of privacy.
Yeah, of course.
But you know, we live in our area isn't bad, but it's a local area.
Nope.
And you know, we do see like some homelessness and things come through here, but it's not like we feel like, you know, we're at risk or anything like that. We do see it, and because of that, you know, you have like neighbors who have asked the police to come through more often, and they do, and they kind of check around and things like that. But that, honestly, I'm trying to think of anything else that we felt threatened by.
That's it.
Ever.
That's it. And threatened by, you're scared of scorpions. I've encountered a scorpion.
And people who don't know how to drive and crash into our property.
Oh yeah, people crashing into properties.
We were sleeping one night.
Yeah, late at night, people just ran into a door.
Ran their car into a metal gate.
That's it. To get back to it, we don't see any major crime or anything happening over here. Give me your safest city in America, in the United States, and compare it to this city. I'm telling you, there still wouldn't be a comparison, meaning that this city is so safe to me like that.
Do we want to talk about some of the cities based on what you have family that lives in Chicago?
I have family that lives in Chicago, and do I have to talk about Chicago? And that's one thing.
But for the people who don't know, maybe we should talk about it.
That's the thing that people need to understand.
Because not everybody understands. Wait, let's talk. There are some certain people who are from the U.S. that they were been sheltered and they don't know, they haven't been around. And they're kind of oblivious to it. Then there are people that are from other countries, whether it be from Mexico or whether it be from other parts of Europe or from India, that don't know.
Yeah, they think it's all prosperous. Yeah, right. They think it's all prosperous and everything in the United States. Everybody knows the United States has a lot of problems, just like every other country or whatnot. Okay. Cartel. People speak about cartels and everything down in Mexico. I can't speak about Mexico as a whole. I'm pretty sure there's some dangerous stuff going on. I heard crossing the Laredo border in Texas, coming over here, that you got to be careful. They will extort you and things of that nature. But guys,
but for the most part, if you're not getting involved in the drugs, they give two craps about you. Who are you to them? Like they're in their own war. Like they're just gonna go and pick you randomly. I mean, that rarely would ever happen. It rarely would happen.
Yeah, it has to be some kind of type of connection, or they see you flashing money, wearing nice jewelry, nice cars. Come on, guys. Let's talk about the United States right now. Look at the news in the United States. It's crazy over there right now. I have family in Chicago. I had an aunt passed in Chicago. Her wish was for us not to come up there to her funeral. That's how crazy it was. She said, "Do not come up here to my funeral."
But why? For the people who don't know.
For the simple fact of the gangs up there, the shootings, the all the things that's going on up there. That's when people say, "Oh, Mexico has cartels. They're going around doing this, doing that." Guys, I grew up around and been around gangs
where you can't wear a certain color by accident.
Where you can't wear certain colors, or you can't say a certain word a certain way. And trust me, they will extort you. They will rob you. They will do everything. It's no different. To me, you know, crime is crime. It's to that level. I have family in Memphis, New Orleans, all through the South, like all through Miami.
And let's talk about the road rage.
Yeah, road rage going crazy. As you guys know, in California, they had someone doing some stuff in California on shootings in California. My brother, he was in Phoenix for some time. There was a shooter in Phoenix. Road rage. America, to me, United States, to me, is way worse than Mexico, in my opinion. Like, and the reason I'm saying that because I've linked up with other people who live in other parts of Mexico, and they tell me how it is, and we've linked up with people that's from Mexico, and they tell us how certain things are down here. And I just feel like sometimes it's hidden in our face that it's made like Mexico is so bad, and honestly, Mexico is not as bad as the United States when you compare like apples to apples with it. There's no comparison.
But you know, in its human nature, I'm gonna have to say it. Like, let's be real here. It's human nature as people, for whatever reason, we can hear 10 amazing things that, you know, about a place or about what somebody's doing, and we will be like, most people will be zip and say nothing positive. But if they hear one little negative thing and they want to blow it out of proportion, you're going to hear about that right away. And that's human nature. So think about that too when you guys are listening to stories from people, or, you know, watching things on TV. You know, I always say the best thing to do is do your own research. Go and explore and travel and see for yourself. Use caution as you would anywhere. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's the only thing you can do. Otherwise, you just pretty much can put yourselves in a box and don't do anything, and just believe all the negativity that you hear about a person's race or a person's culture or a country. And it's just like, you're just going to be closed-minded. So in order to open up your mind, you have to go ahead and have your own experiences. You have to do your traveling, do your research, and use caution as you would anywhere. Is there crime here? Sure. Yeah. There's crime everywhere because people live here. I always say this, and people probably get tired of me saying it, but people are the ones that ruin a place. It's us.
Yeah, and you're gonna have people coming around, coming from other South America through here, coming on tracks, and of course they're hungry. And they're doing what they have to do to survive. I'm not saying what they're doing is right. Yeah, they're trying to escape their bad situation, and it's just a circle until everything comes together some form of fashion. I don't know, but it's a circle, and you have to expect that. But as far as big major crime here, no. It's safe. It's safe, and our experience is very safe. So it's very safe over here in Queretaro, Mexico.
My husband, he actually said something. I'm going to tell you guys. He said something, he said it twice already, so I know he really means it. I remember thinking, gosh, you know, when we moved here, that he might get homesick and he would feel he wanted to go home. And this man, I kid you not, I'm going to let him tell you what he told me. What did you tell me? And say it just and we're gonna bring them in like into our private home. What did you say to me when
we were sitting here talking, and it's like about going back to the States, and
not about going back in a way, not that we were considering it.
No,
like if we had to
go back, certain things like that. And
I was saying I will work here. I'll do whatever I have to do because I don't want to go back.
Yeah, by any means to not go back. And I just told her I get actually emotional thinking about going back to the United States, meaning like I just can't do it because
hear this guy.
It's my mind has been blown coming over here specifically to this city, Queretaro, Mexico.
And this is a man who, before we moved here, he let him be honest and tell you how he felt before coming here.
Well,
we didn't visit. We just packed up and sold everything and followed our heart and came here, guys. We took a risk. So let him tell you before we even got here what he was thinking.
The stories.
How are you feeling about it?
The stories, and it's to the point of course, you feel the concern about Mexico. You feel that it's what you see. That's what's presented before us. So we see that narrative in our face of it's like this and it's like that. But then when you come over here, you see the people are so loving, kind. They don't care. Like they will invite you to their home. They will cook you food. They will give you directions. They will drive you somewhere. They will help you out. Compared to what I'm used to in the United States. On top of racism, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. On top of racism, you don't have people that don't even know their neighbor anymore. But over here, everybody on the block,
and they don't want to know their neighbor.
Yeah, everybody on the block over here know their neighbor. Like they know each other, they help each other, they walk by and feed someone else's dog. Like
we now have earned 2 more dogs.
Yeah, we have 2 more dogs.
Yeah, they come to our house.
So it's like that's what it's all about over here. And they having a party or they having something going on. They say, let us know if the music is too loud, or it's so different over here. To me, it just blows my mind. And I try to tell my family, I try to tell everybody I can, like, guys, give it a shot. Like, check it out, try it out. You have to come see it for yourself, and it may work for some people. Like, for example, in this city right here, Queretaro, like, people come down here and they may feel that, I don't know, that it's not like this and it's not like that, and we tell you the truth about this city. We tell you the truth about everything. We haven't told any lies about this city. Everything's been straight facts. So people come here thinking that we will tell you that this is not a party city.
And don't talk bad about Queretaro because you want it to be a party city and it's a family oriented city. Just say it's not for you.
Yeah, we come from New York and Atlanta, the East Coast, all the three East Coast party city. You guys know in California, you guys party. So it's like, you come here and you expect it to be in Atlanta or expect it to be in New York or expect it to be in Miami or Houston, where they have these clubs and all these things going on, or these type of bars and this party. Yes, people down here have a good time.
They have bars,
but
they have that.
If you come down here
and that's your sole purpose.
If you come down here just to hook up and all that type of stuff, I'm just gonna say it like that.
It's not for you.
You need to go back to the United States, or you go to Cancun, Tulum, those party places where a lot of foreigners come. Like, when I say Australians,
and make it a permanent vacation.
Yeah, make it a permanent. You do your thing here. We tell everybody this is a family city. Queretaro is a family city. It's a low key chill city, a big city, but it's a low key chill city. It's very authentic to Mexico. It's authentic in colonial way of.
It's a very well-to-do city as well.
Very wealthy. It's a wealthy city. It's slept on. A lot of people don't know that, but this is a very wealthy city. People are driving around in nice cars, nice vehicles, dressing nice homes, eating nice. Everybody's living good down here. It's a great middle-class, wealthy city. Mm-hmm. And of course, some people are trying to get in on the wealth as well, but I think that's what attributing to the low crime, that is shared. It's kind of like it's almost a shared thing, in my opinion. I see some people still struggling and stuff, but in the United States, you can live in one of the wealthiest cities, for example, New York or LA, and you just go a little bit down the block and you're gonna see poverty. You're gonna see other people struggling to survive. So you just have to keep it in mind. So yeah, we tell the truth about this city. This is a beautiful city, picturesque city. Like, it's nothing I can say bad about this city. Be honest with you.
And actually, and we're gonna end it on this note, because I know we can just go on and on and on and forget that we're on camera and really think that we're having like a little barbecue with you guys and chit chatting. But we feel so good when we have people reach out, not only in our comments. I have people who email me. I had a gentleman, this is just one recent example, that emailed me. He's coming from Texas. I don't want to put your name on blast, but you know who you are.
What's up?
How's it going? Safe travels to you. And he told me in the email, he said, you guys are the reason why I felt comfortable to come and visit Queretaro. Mm-hmm. When I hear that, or when we meet people on the street and they tell us, you guys, we feel so comfortable, like we trust you guys to give your opinion, or we want you to do this for us because we know you're going to tell us the truth. That is, to us, we feel so honored by that. We appreciate that so much.
Yeah, we also had somebody come to us and tell us if they want to go see entertainment and shucking and jiving and all that stuff, they go see other YouTubers. But if they want to see the real truth about things, they come to us.
Hey, thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Thank you for that. But it just that does make us feel good, knowing that
what we're genuinely trying to do is come across.
Yeah, we're genuine, and people who met us in the streets around here, a lot of people meet us. I challenge you to say that we're not who we are on this camera. We'll tell you, come sit down with us. You want something to eat? You want me to tell you what this at? We go above and beyond, because we're just genuine, just good people, and we just share knowledge with people.
We're flawed people. We're good flawed people. Yeah. And we're gonna say things sometimes that you don't agree with, that you don't like, but for the most part, we try our best to just be loving and be who we are and be our genuine selves. Yep. Flawed as we all are, each and every one of us in this world. That's the bottom line. But guys, we kind of were going off on a tangent now. We were all about security. Minutes, but we hope that this answered your question about our perspective on, the dangers of Mexico, or how safe is Queretaro. Do you feel safe there? And as always, if you have any commentary, feel free to leave that below the video. And as usual, guys, I'm not going to get deep into it, but if you want to continue to support our channel in order to enable us to continue bringing you informative and enjoyable content, please check out below in the pinned comment in our description how you can support us. And that's just one way, guys. If you want to do a one-time or a regular contribution, a financial contribution, or simply by sharing our content with those that you feel it will benefit, simply by just giving us a thumbs up, giving us a like, even though we don't really we don't care about the likes.
No.
YouTube is structured on the likes and dislikes, and we know that everyone's gonna get dislikes. But honestly, guys, to those of you who are just coming around and just doing it because
I know who you are.
It's like just stop, please. Just cut it
Yeah.
out.
We're not.
It's fun. It's funny.
Yeah, we're not in the
really
business
funny.
of likes of you liking what we say because
I bet you guys would stop if they started to expose who you guys are, right? Be like, oh, wait a minute, that's the person that actually hung out with us, and we helped them out. Shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
And you may be a YouTuber.
Shame on you. And then you were asking us how you can do YouTube, and we were helping you.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah, guys, so somehow I'm up over here, and to hopefully answer your question, it's safe over here, guys. You just use your common sense. Just pay attention to what's going on. Don't be walking around with your money out or going around talking,
looking lost.
Because down here they speak Spanish. We keep telling you the guys that they speak Spanish. So time they hear you speaking English, they're gonna jump on you.
And it's not just like Queretaro, Mexico. That's just as a foreigner traveling anywhere. Be prepared. It's just the way of the world.
Yeah.
If somebody comes to the U.S. and they don't know the language, they'll get scammed too. That's just the way of the world, unfortunately. So.
All right, guys, we passed the 30-minute mark. I hope everything
and
worked out.
And our guys have something to say. They don't like us clapping.
And hopefully, the video, it's a cloudy day, so we decided it was a rainy, stormy day, so whatever. So we decided to do this video on here. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Remember to like, subscribe, share our content.
Click the notification bell. That way you're notified any and every time we post new content.
Ding. Do all that.
Sorry, guys. We're just being who we are. But
yeah, we have great content coming. We're thinking about starting doing lives. That way you guys can come to us.
We're coming to you about healthcare. We're coming to you about hospitals soon. We're coming to you with more neighborhood tours. You guys know we're all about doing neighborhood tours. We're showing you just a real view, or walking around neighborhoods, giving you the real feel, not just driving by in a car, doing little clips, but really taking you in. And we do it, as I always say, for free. People are charging, and they only do, there are people out there who I've heard are charging for neighborhood tours, and they're only showing you like a few select neighborhoods that they know are catered to foreigners. So we're showing you everything because we want you to come here and we want you to live here affordably and live your best life.
And ask us anything, guys. Anything about what you feel about the city, about rentals and things like that. And to the best of our knowledge, we will answer that. We will expose the truth. Because don't think that you have to come down here and spend tons of money and do all this and do all that. You can live very affordably down here.
All right, guys. So most importantly, live the life that you were meant to live. Keep a grateful heart.
And remember, why not now? All right, guys. Peace.